Shannon, what are you doing? I thought we were recording.
I'm taking a video because he looks cute. Hey guys, I'm Shannon and this is Species Canada. Hey everyone, welcome back and thank you for joining us. This is Blitz and she's a Chinese king rat snake. These guys are beautiful medium to large size colubrids that come from China and surrounding areas. Generally, these guys have a really bad disposition, but thankfully she's really easygoing, as you can see. Today we're going to be talking about one of my favorite genuses of isopods, which is Porcellio. What is Porcellio? Porcellio is a genus of isopods consisting of over 150 species. They also belong to the order Isopoda, which contains pretty much most of the species that we know and love in the hobby, including armadillo, and cubaris. Generally, when we talk about a beginner species, there's three main points that we want to address. So the first thing that we want to elaborate on is accessibility. Are they common and easy to find for the beginner keeper? We want to elaborate on species of Porcellio that can be found locally for most people or can be accessible from vendors close to them. The next thing we want to elaborate on is price. Some isopod species can start at $1 per individual, while others can go up into the double digits. Generally, someone who is just getting into the hobby doesn't want to spend a lot of money on one culture, especially if they're still perfecting their husbandry. The last thing that we're going to elaborate on today is appearance. Not all beginner Porcellio have to be bland. Hopefully we can show you guys some different variations that are easy to source, but also not hard on your wallet. So today we're going to be focusing on 4 different species of Porcellio that we feel are best for the beginner hobbyist. She's so nice, Ivan. Do you want to feel her scales?
Nope, I'm good.
No top 4 is fulfilled unless we have Porcellio scabber. It's definitely one of the most favorable species in the hobby that goes by a lot of names: Spanish orange, giant orange, rough woodlouse, basement sowbug, among many. Porcellio scabber is very accessible for most keepers starting out. It's very easy to source and find. In fact, you can even collect individuals to add new bloodlines to your collection. Of course, factoring in acclimation and quarantine, as there is a few ailments that can affect isopods like aretovirus. Right here, I've got a culture of Porcellio scabber, Gedan's ghost. Porcellio scabber also come in a wide variety of color morphs, giving hobbyists plenty of variation to choose from. This species is also very prolific. Their small size can make them perfect for use in a vivarium setting. They have extreme appetites and do a perfect job in breaking down organic waste matter in the bioactive vivarium. These guys are extremely adaptive to their environment, be it a slightly drier enclosure or semi-moist environment. These guys are king, in my opinion. At most, some of the new mutations may run a little bit pricier, between 80 to 100 Canadian a culture. Most of the ones we're showing in this guide generally run $25 to $40 a culture, making them very affordable. The second species is Porcellio levis. Porcellio levis is also known worldwide by its cute mutation, dairy cow. They're honestly quite very little endearing isopods. Also commonly called the swift woodlouse or smooth slater, this species is built quite solid. They honestly remind me of little tanks. Porcellio levis dairy cow was our first isopod species personally. and they keep a very special spot in our collection. And right here, I've got a culture of Porcellio levis dairy cow. Porcellio levis is another hobby favorite and very forgiving species to keep. As well as amazing reproduction rate and huge brood sizes, they come in a wide variety of color mutations as well. The species also makes a good choice in the vivarium setting, able to handle a wide variety of husbandry. Porcellio levis is also distributed worldwide and can be collected locally depending on where you live. Our number 3 choice is Porcellio hoffmansega. Porcellio hoffmansega is one of the largest terrestrial species of isopods that we can keep right now in the hobby. Male individuals can sometimes attain lengths of over 2 inches. These guys are a beast when it comes to size, but their production rate is also no slouch. As you'll see by our culture, brood sizes can range between 10 to 25 mankai. One of the main qualities of this species that draws us back to them all the time is the care given by the mother. A lot of Porcellio species exhibit parental care, but let's be honest, hoffmansega take it to the next level. And right here I have a culture of Porcellio hoffmansega. Everybody loves Spanish Porcellio, although some of the Spanish isopods can be more difficult to care for. Hoffmansega, on the other hand, are very easy to keep. They do tend to require a lot more air movement and a bigger dry area though. We recommend putting a lot of bark pieces to separate them from the substrate, since they do tend to cling on the underside of the bark most of the time. As with most isopods, leaf litter is also very important for them. After all, they are detritivores. Here are some of the color mutations that have recently popped up in our culture. Hoffmansega are priced fairly reasonably, although slightly higher than levis and scabber. $70 to $150 per culture is fairly average. These guys also make the perfect introduction to the wide menagerie of Spanish Porcellio available. And the fourth species of Priscilla that we're going to cover today is Porcellio spinopinus, which is a very striking species found throughout Western Europe. They almost remind me of Armadillidium gestroi, but instead of being a roly-poly, they're flat and they belong in the Porcellio genus. They also possess amazing color variation, which I'm excited to show you guys next. And right here I have a culture of Porcellio spinopinus. These guys are easy to keep, very similar to how you would keep Porcellio scabber and levis. Like Porcellio scabber, these guys also make an amazing vivarium cleanup crew due to their fast reproduction rate and decent size. They also have a very funny scientific name, making them great to bring up in conversation. Ease of care, great production rate, and attractiveness definitely give these guys a deserving top 4 in our list. Thank you for watching our top 4 beginner Porcellio video. If you guys have any suggestions for future videos or even suggestions on which species of isopods we should tackle next, comment down below, and as always, like, comment, and subscribe.